Have you ever struggled with a personal ask? Whether that's for getting a day off or saying no to some plans you previously committed to and you're not sure why you even said it in the first place? If you've ever been in this situation and want to avoid it in the future, I'm going to share 3 tips today on how to ask for what you want. Hi, I'm Leah Fetterhoff, a user experience designer, writer, and life strategist, and I want to inspire you to thrive in work and life. What holds us back anyway? I think it goes beyond just fear. I think it's more a lack of clarity. When you don't know why you're not saying yes or no or are very unsure about something, it's most likely because you're not sure what will be aligning to you. My first tip is to know your why. When you know your why, you'll be crystal clear on what is motivating you and what is driving you to say yes or no in the first place. And it just builds up that confidence for you to say no to the things you don't really want to do or don't serve you, and say yes to attract more of the things you want. So you're going to hear me say that again and again, but it really comes down to getting clarity. I'm sure you can think of several situations in your life where you've immediately given a hard no to something or someone, right? Whether they've overstepped their bounds the first time or, it became a habitual thing and you finally just had it. There's certain lines that people or situations cross and you just instantly know it's not for you. Like for me, that would be if someone offered to invite me to rock climbing. I definitely don't like rock climbing, and there's no way I would ever say yes to that. So what are those hard no's for you? And then learn to expand them a little. Like, will there ever be instances I will say yes, right? Maybe it's rock climbing at the park. I don't know. And what you need to get clear on, right? It's when is something a non-negotiable versus when is it a nice to have or a must have. For instance, if you're looking for a new house, there's a difference between like it has to have a yard. Any home that doesn't have a big backyard, I'm going to say no to. Or, hey, it would be nice if it had a yard or if it had a big yard, but even with a small yard, I'd be okay. Once again, right, you're articulating why it's important to you. For me, my why with the backyard is a place for my 2 kids to actually explore, get out of the house a little bit, and still have a safe spot to play. With rock climbing, I just have no motivation or desire. There is nothing in that activity that excites me whatsoever, and I know that about myself. And I've been in similar situations before where I'm like, why did I commit to this in the first place? So sometimes you learn, but once you learn, then it's easier to say no the next time. So tip number 1, know your why. Tip number 2 is an extension of know your why, which is actually writing it down. So this holds you accountable, or it gets you to see on paper what you've agreed to. What are those values or philosophies you have in life that make it easier for you to say yes or no to something? Once again, for me, it's family. It's, not putting myself in any life-threatening or risky experiences, where it has no way of being fun for me, things like that. And once you write down, right, like whether it's a pros or cons list, then it's easier for you to understand your why. You get more clarity on your why by writing things down, by weighing things out, and really laying it all out there. So knowing your why, that's an internal thing, right? That's only for you to know and to learn from and to revise, right, when your life view or perspective changes on something. But typically your values will hold true for your entire life. Maybe you'll just be able to be more precise in how you clarify your why and know your values. Second of all, when you're writing down your pros and cons, what you're weighing out, it's kind of like a cheat sheet for yourself that you reference just for you. Next, you want to be able to then tell other people, right? When someone else makes the ask, how will you respond? Or when you're going to make the ask, how do you respond when they want to know a little bit more? And you get to choose how much you want to reveal, but what I've typically found is the shorter your answer, the more genuine it comes across and the more confident it seems. So an example could be when you're trying to negotiate a salary range, right? And you're doing really well talking with the recruiter or the hiring manager, and they ask, well, what's your salary range? And example one would be, well, I really think somewhere between 80 to 100K because I looked at other jobs in the industry and the market rate for this area, and that's what I expect to be paid. Whereas in example two, you could say something like, well, my range is 80 to 100K. In most cases, they probably won't ask you for more details. But if they did, then you can share whatever you're comfortable with sharing. Like, oh, I made this much at my last job, I can't go for anything lower. Or based on other experience I had outside of my job, however you come to it, then you can explain it. You know, the core thing is you don't have to over-explain. Your personal reasons are your personal reasons, and the confidence you get is the same way, like if someone wants to ask more, how much you actually want to share or be willing to share. And, you know, this is also a learning experience as well, but over time, you'll start to realize what that comfort level is, what your values are, what you actually said yes to and decide never again, or vice versa, right? Like maybe you've said no several times and you're not sure why. So maybe next time, like, would it really be that bad to say yes and just try it out? So my challenge to you is to learn more, because everything you put out into the world, you're trying new things out. There's only ever going to be one time that's your first time. And after that, it gets easier. For instance, my daughter, she's 4, she was in the playground the other week, and she really wanted to climb like this fire pole like thing. And she did it, she started to, right? And she made her way up, halfway, past the halfway mark, and then all of a sudden she got stuck. She couldn't get onto the platform of the playground, and it was a long way down, right? So she cried out for me and my husband. My husband ended up helping her back down. But she wouldn't have known that had she not tried and taken that risk. And, you know, she'll learn, and we've told her, like, once you get taller, once you get older, it'll get easier. Or, you know, like, once you have longer legs, you'll reach that platform. And it's one of those things, right? But she just, like, went for it and tried it out and then asked for help when she couldn't actually do the thing. And that's the other thing too, like ask for support, especially if something feels life-threatening like that, or, you know, like, I don't know, I feel super stuck. First, getting the clarity to personally ask for what you want or don't want. And then if you find in your discovery that it's actually something that you don't want or you made a mistake, right, then you've learned that for next time. You have an experience to go by, and that's all you can really do. So I encourage you, like, ask for the day off, ask for, you know, a higher salary than you feel that, you know, that you were going to ask for in the first place. Say no to something because you already know it's not for you, or say yes to something and then see if you still want to do it again the next time. So all this to say is build up that confidence just by putting yourself out there. But also, if you found a habit where you've been saying yes to a lot of things or not following through with a lot of things that you know would make your life better and that would align with your values and make you generally just more feeling authentic, aligned, and joyful with your life, then reevaluate that as well, right? How bad is it to actually do the thing that will bring you more joy than to hold yourself back because of fear? So that's all I have for you today, just some food for thought, and hopefully some good tips you can take away to actually ask for what you want, or learn to say no to what you don't want and break those kinds of habits. So, what's a situation that you've had a hard time making an ask for? And what finally led you to actually do it? Leave a comment below because I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and share with friends. And of course, if you want more freebies, more tips, some self-awareness, weekly challenges, and stories I only tell through email, join my newsletter at swishie.com. If you are a woman of color and want to join a like-minded community, check out the Swishie Facebook group. It's private, just a few questions, and then you're in. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Swishie. Make sure to hit subscribe for more videos like this one, where I talk about how to thrive in both work and life.